Hey guys, how you doing? This is Mark Taylor with Behind Closed Doors. Everybody can get it. How you doing? How you doing? This is a podcast series that I put together for my caregivers. Folks who take care of people that cannot take care of themselves. So you're here, right? If you're here, you're in a safe spot. You're in the best spot, right? You're in a spot where, we create that ambiance, man, where we all learn off of each other, man. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that everybody's kind of like on that note. I am a caregiver, sandwich caregiver, times two. That's what that means, right? I caregive for my 11-year-old son with Down syndrome, autism, and ADHD. I have a younger brother. He's 48 now. Happy birthday, late birthday again, Donnie. Caregiver for him, and then I had my late mom that passed away last year, right around March. That's one. Those are my three whys. I probably have a lot of whys to why I do what I do. Those are probably those three. Those are the three people that I kind of stuck up for, right? Continually over the years, and it kind of carried over until what I do in my career. Then it went from my career, and so on and so on and so on. But yes, this is a safe place podcast behind closed doors. We have a ton of other episodes, guys. You gotta tap in. You gotta tap in, man. And this is a to say the least, man, this is a space for grown folks too, right? We're gonna talk a little shit. We're gonna mix it up a little bit, right? I know this is not a popular, comfortable subject, so I have to play with it a little bit. So some choice words are gonna pop out, and that's okay, right? It's not the words, it's the content. It's what you're getting, it's what you're gonna be receiving. You will be getting all the notes to everything I'm reading. I do paraphrase my notes, but you will have those notes as well. Behind Closed Doors podcast is like I said before, is one of those safe places. We created more safe spaces as well for you to provide, right? For you to tap into, right? So I will be leaving the links in there as well for those other spaces, if you choose to do so. I know some of these podcasts can be pretty overcoming with a bunch of people and stuff in it. So we created groups, we created we on the podcast. We have Caregivers Chronicles, right? Behind Closed Doors Chronicles on Facebook. We got a group within our platform as well for Facebook. That's the Behind Closed Doors support group, and then we got aftercare as well, that we're rolling that out. That's kind of subscription based, right? We're going to be really getting into it, right? We're not just talking barbershop talk, we're talking about getting some resolution, right? People come to me with want resolution. They just don't want to just talk about caregiving. They just don't want to talk about having a special need loved one. They just don't want to talk about having an elderly care loved one, right? They want some answers, right? And I can give you those answers, right? That steps into another stratosphere, so to speak, platform, whatever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I got all the housekeeping stuff out the way. I told you about me a little bit. Now, let's dive in. Today's podcast series, man, we're going to be talking, it's a sticky subject, right? Get ready, right? Get your coffee, whatever. Like I said before, it's not a subject that we like to bring up a lot of times. It's a sticky one, right? And that's POAs. Power of attorneys, right? You ask yourself all this stuff, what it is, what it's about, all that other good stuff. Well, I'm gonna give it to you, right, guys? And if you know me, you follow me, I don't bullshit, right? So I'm just gonna give it to you, and I'm not giving it to you textbook style, right? This is some stuff that I learned, that somebody told me. Damn it, I lived it, and I'm living it, right? I'm going through a process right now of developing a power of attorney and all kinds of other little stuff like that for my brother, right? So I'm here, right? And I'm study learning, right? Help me help you. Share your story, right? Share your story, right? I don't ever proclaim to know it all. I want you to dive in and tap in and, hey, Mark, that ain't right. This is how we do it here. So from state to state, from city to city, country to country, I want you guys to tell me what your process like as well. So along the way, I'm gonna be tapping in. I'm gonna, lay it on you guys. But after that, hey, right, tap in there. I want this thing to grow further than the podcast, right? I just don't want a booming viral podcast, right? I want to build an engagement engine. I want people talking. I want people communicating. That's how you got to do it, right? That's how it got to be done. All right, so like I said, advocacy starts before paperwork. Like I said, notes will be there. Today we'll be talking about POAs, payees, knowing when to step in, knowing when not to step in, right? We're going to open up today. I just want to slow things down by explaining something a lot of families run into after crisis starts, right? After a crisis start, right? That's when everybody wants to, you want to wait till your loved one can't even recognize you, but then you want to implement a POA. You want to implement a will. You want to implement insurance. You want to do all. I'm guilty. I'm guilty as damn charged. I am, y'all. That's why I'm fired up about it, right? And I'm slowly getting my shit together, right? So I don't have everybody scrambling for my tail. You know what I mean? But anyways, a lot of families run into these crises, POAs, payees, and paperwork, right? Because most people don't learn this stuff until they really, in a jam and they really need it, right? That's why advocacy has to start before the paperwork, right? Advocacy starts right at day one. There's no set date. You don't have to wait till they damn they're sick, damn they're dead, or they just get a diagnosis. No, this should be friendly conversation. This should be something that's kind of going on in our life. And for me, right, from what I learned, advocacy and caregiving and all that kind of stuff starts way before your loved one get to a bad place, right? We need to be establishing relationships. Let's make up. Let's get things going. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to, like I said before, I kind of tapped into, to my roll call, and I was saying, like, we have a habit, most families, right? We distance ourselves from our family, right? From our children, and children distance themselves from their parent, right? So now 30, 40 years go by, parent get old, right? Falls over, whatever the case it is, right? Now, damn, I ain't seen you in 20, 30 years. You high and by. You all that now. Now all of a sudden I got to step in as a kid and I got to just jump all in this because you my mama or you my daddy. Hell no. You need to be picking up the phone. The 20, 30 years go by. You should be picking up the phone, establishing that kind of shit with me right? Be establishing that with me right now. Start getting on my good grace. I'm going to start getting on your good grace. The same thing with your kid. If you got a kid right now that you don't get along with, you need to be getting along with that ass. Really, you need to be finding out a way. You know what? Let's mend our ways. Let's do what we need to do. I just never know when I'm going to need you. It don't just I never know when I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you. One way or another, right? And you might not be the one, as I always talk about with caregiving, right? It's a team effort. You might not be the one wiping the ass. You might not be the one giving me the meds. You might be the one running to get my clothes. You might be the one doing something else, right? So it's not a matter of if we're going to need somebody. It's a matter of when we're going to need them, right? Moral support, conversation, stopping by, giving me some food, bringing this. I did all that and some. What is a POA? Plain English. POA stands for power of attorney, right? Power of attorney is a permission. A permission. Ideally, it's a permission, right? If I'm living and I'm talking to you, hey, my name is Mark Taylor, all that shit, right? I check all the boxes. I want you to take care of me, right? That's when POAs is really in effect, right? It's not control. Just because you're your POA, I can tell you what to do, how to do it, and all this other. No, it don't work like that, right? It's just, if the shit hits the fan, I got your back, right? You gave me permission, right? And one of the things, man, I'm telling you guys, you don't want to do it. I live by example. I'm very passionate about this, as you see. My mom, by the time I got to her last year or so of her life, it was the tail end. Now I had to come, put this damn Superman cave on. Trying to establish power of attorney, couldn't do it because she wasn't at the right mind. She wasn't deemed to do the power of attorney. Money was chaotic. We had a life insurance policy that lapsed. We had all kinds of stuff. I tell mine like it is because hopefully you learn from it. Hopefully I learn from it, damn it. You know what I mean? That's what we want. Where we want to be. So that's power of attorney. It allows someone to act another person's behalf when it comes to decision making. When they get to a point where they can't make decisions, damn it, they want you to be in place to make decisions, right? Important. A POA does not automatically mean someone is incompatible, right? It means they're planning ahead or asking for help. Damn it, I said that, right? There you go. You got it. right? In most cases, we drop the ball. No, you ask yourself, well, damn, Mark, well, what happens if you drop the ball and you can't do the POA? Now you're talking guardianship. Now you're talking about you got to go to court. Now you got to do all this other stuff, right? There's some stuff out there. I'm going to leave it in the notes, right? Alternatives, what you can do and all that kind of stuff. All right, the most common ones people hear about is the medical power of attorney, right? Someone that helps make healthcare decisions if you can't, right, guys? When I'm talking about this stuff, it might seem like common sense to some people that's in this field, but it's people like me that did not know nothing about none of that shit. I'm just being honest, right? I didn't know about POAs. I didn't know all the nuances that came around with care. I didn't know about dementia. I didn't know about Alzheimer's. I didn't know about UTIs. I didn't know about none of this stuff, right? So I had to position myself to do so. So hopefully this helps somebody. Tap in if it help you, if it resonate. Fist bump, pound, hey man, Mark, cool, blah, 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 whatever, right? Financial power of attorney, someone that can help manage money, bills, benefits, paperwork, property, whatever the case it is. Or in some cases, you can just simply be the payee, right? And in most cases, this is the kind of shit that's not discussed. This is not taken care of, right? And you know, it needs to be taken care of. Somebody needs to be said, okay, hey, I need you to do this. Well, I'm gonna take care. Well, I want you to fight over that shit now. Who gonna wipe my ass? Right? who gonna continue the business? Is the shit going to shit? Ain't nobody raising their hand? Then hey, I know what to do with it already. You see what I'm saying? And I think as adults, we need to dictate that, right? We need to get the kids together, rally. Hey, look, this is what's gonna happen. Who gonna take care of it? I know it seems crazy, right? Because it's almost like you planning to die. Like, I'm finna die and I want you. You're gonna do this. You got this assignment. You got that assignment. Hell yeah, that's the way it's supposed to go. I wasn't raised like that. And that's why shit was chaotic, right? That all the way down to burying somebody, if you had the luxury of burying them, right? Durable power of attorney stays in place if someone becomes Lord have mercy. If they fall off their square, right? So it stays in place if they fall off their square. Some people have one. Some people have both. Medical and financial, right? That's what I'm trying to establish with my brother. Some people don't need it yet, but should be thinking about it. Yeah, my old ass. I need to be thinking about it, right? I mean, we ain't guaranteed to be here, man. It's a subject that we don't want to talk about, and but it do what it do, right? Next section. Who can establish the POA? This is sticky. Sticky. I kind of tapped in on this one. This part matters, right? A POA usually established by the person themselves, right? Ideally, yes, you set this shit up now. That's what you do, right? POA is established by the person themselves. That means they understand what they're signing, right? I'm here now, catch me in my 40s and 50s. Let me put that paperwork together. I don't know where my mind's going to be at when I'm 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, right? They know who they're choosing. They can explain in basic terms why they doing this, right? This is about capacity, not diagnose. Someone can have a mental health condition, right? You can be fit as a damn fiddle. You can be eating all right, your blood pressure, everything is all right and everything, and whatever the case it is. And somehow mental health can kick in, right? Stuff that you have no control over. You can do all the right things in your life, fit as a fiddle, walking around here looking like damn Arnold Schwarzenegger, eating all the best food, doing everything right, and life say, hey, I want that ass. Come here. Right? Ain't nothing you can do. So you have to just stay ready, right? Ain't no perfect way of doing anything. Someone can have a mental health condition, a disability, right? Medical diagnose, rare, sometimes genetic, runs in the family, and still be capable of choosing a POA. Segment 4. When is someone capable of choosing a POA, right? Now, this super sticky here, right? Capability isn't about perfection. It's about whether the person can understand what a PO is. If they don't even understand what a POA is at the definition, they can't tell you what it is, or they don't. It just completely goes over their damn head. They can't make that decision. And I have a couple situations like that right now. I mean, one situation like that right now where, if a doctor says that, hey, and they ask the right questions, right? Hey, what's your name? What's this? What's that? And if you're not checking the boxes, right? What cities, what state you live in? How tall are you? What's your first and last name? I seen it done with my mom. They asked a series of questions, and it was like a no-brainer. They're like, oh, she can't do this. All right, so we have to go for guardianship. We have to do some other shit or whatever the case was. Luckily, right, there was some POA stuff that took place years ago from a medical POA that took place years ago with my brother. And he just happened to have a piece of paper. Damn, it was him, right? And we stem from that. Let's just leave it. Let's leave it at that, right? Where was I at here? Understanding what a POA is, understanding what POA allows someone to do, express who they trust, communicate their wishes, right? Those some of those kind of questions. If someone can do that, even simply, let me run that back again. I'm sorry, guys. I ran that one out. I ran it off so fast. I'm sorry. Capability. Let's see here. Where we at? It's about whether the person can do the following things. So when is someone capable of choosing a POA? When that person can be able to do that? When they understand a POA, when they understand what POA allows someone to do, when they understand the nuances of POAs, when they express trust, right? When they can communicate their wishes, that's when that person qualifies, so to speak, to be able to say, hey, I want Mark, I want Jack, I want Jane, I want Tisha, I want Keisha, I want Campbell, I want whoever the hell it is, right? It could be their best buddy. Right? It can fuck you completely up. You can have a family full of people, right? Family full of people. Everybody thought, oh, grandma such and such or uncle such and such. When it come down to the POA, well, he had his old drinking buddy to be his damn POA. Then so be it. It do what it do. I done seen that so many times, right? Because maybe he or she didn't really click with the family like that. Now all of a sudden you got the medical power of attorney to somebody that the family completely don't know. Am I resonating? Right? Right? I talk that shit that people go through right now, right? This is where the fights come in at. This is where somebody made the ex-wife the damn POA, right? So now they got the new wife, right? Right, she ain't got no damn call. I gave the POA to my ex-wife or the side chick or whoever the hell it is. Right, I talk real shit. When it comes to that POA. It's real sticky stuff. Right? You're getting old, you're getting gray, you're getting fat. You better pay attention. Segment 5, what is a payee? Payee, right? Payee is a representative payee is different from a POA. We're about to tap into that. Representative payee is basically somebody that you kind of take over their money, right? You're on the bank account. Usually go to a bank or something like that. You can be their payee. Oh, Social Security Administration. You go through Social Security Administration. Oh, that's a long process. They treat you like total shit when you're there. But anyways, you got to go in there. They got to sign some form. You got to have your loved one there. All that. They got to shake their head and all this other kind of stuff, right? That happens, right? Now, you're the representative payee. You handle their money. That could be good. That could be not good. Trust me. There's some people right now that's in that position that probably hate that position, but they hanging on because they love that person. Let's see here. Representative payee. Boom. A payee managed benefits or income like Social Security income, Social Security disability, or veterans benefits as well. Is appointed by an agency, not just an individual, right? Is focused on money only, not medical stuff, right? This is all paper, money. I wanna say that's property and stuff like that as well. Somebody got houses, cars, all that kind of stuff and everything in that, all that stuff in the above. You can be a payee without being a power of attorney. You can handle the money. You don't have to handle all the medical stuff, right? You can bag off. See, and that's where the shit's done by committee, right? I handle the money. Hey, I handle the medical stuff. Hey, you do this. You coordinate the care. Hey, you do this and you do that. I got mama foot. I got mama hand. I got daddy foot. I got daddy head, right? Somebody got everything, right? You can be a POA without being a payee. Sometimes families need both. Segment 6, right? We're almost down there, guys. We're almost down. Tap in. Tap in. If this is some real shit, put it. Matter of fact, type real shit. Type real shit. Type real shit in there, right? It's got to be real. If it ain't real yet, I mean, you ain't old yet. You ain't been through shit in life. You ain't there yet. And that's cool. You know, I'm going to take you there. Segment 6, when does a payee make sense? When is it appropriate for somebody to take over somebody's money? A payee may be needed when someone can't manage money safely. I want you to put in there as well. What's handling money safely to you, right? Somebody that can't pay their bills. What if somebody pay their bills, but he choose to smoke crack? What if they choose to pay their bills, but he go to the strip club and he got him a hot mama or something on the side, right? I'm just saying, right? I ain't pointing no fingers. Someone can't safely manage their money. Bills aren't being paid. Benefits are at risk, right? Exploitation is a concern, meaning they can be pimped out their damn money. They'll fool with it. They'll sucker with it, right? That's how I told you. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm not going to play no games with you guys. They get their money on the first and the shit gone by the third. And it ain't because they pay bills, right? They at the casino. They at the titty bar. They at the crack house, right? I don't know, man, whatever. They got some bad habit or something. They're not paying their money. Payees are about protection, not punishment. We're not here to punish them, right? I control you. I'm your payee. I can just tell you what, get your ass up. I'll give you $1 next week if you're good. And no, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You come in, you manage the money properly, you do what you need to do, because ultimately you're going to have to pay the piper. You know who you're going to have to pay? If you a payee and you doing some foul shit to your people or whoever it is, right? That circle come back around. That circle gonna come right back around, right? If you treat people like that, something gonna happen back to you 10 times worse on everything. And I know it's gonna happen. Segment 7, POA versus a will, right? This is something I'm kind of tapping into right now, right? People confuse it of this all the time. This is big. A POA works while a person is alive, helps with decisions now. A will affects them after they gone. Another affects them when they gone. What was this here? Has nothing to do with daily decision making, right? A will has nothing to do with the daily decision making. A will does not help you in a hospital. A will does not help you in a care facility. A will does not help you with benefits or medical decisions, right? They serve completely different purposes. I do have the notes here, guys. You can tap in. You want to expand more, right? Tap in. Caregivers Chronicle. You can DM me, whatever. Real shit. Tap it in there and I'll get back to you. All right. Segment 8, why advocacy comes first. Right? I'm going to answer that. I'm going to read that, but I'm going to give my rendition of it real quick, right? When it says why advocacy comes first before all this stuff. You have to establish trust with people, right? You got to go to bat with people. You got to rub them a certain way. You got to, all that stuff. And it ain't just all about the money. It's about integrity. It's about, I hope we talk about intangibles. Me and my wife had a great conversation about intangibles, right? Do you respect me? Do you trust me? Do you, on and on, can I trust you with my stuff? I guess it really comes down to trust. I think that's probably one of the biggest intangibles there, right? But let me read in. All right, here's the truth about that nobody prepares families for. By the time the paperwork is needed, things are already moving. Facilities, doctors, benefits, billing, yes, hell yeah. Right? When my mama came down here, man, it was like an episode of ER and everything just hit our ass. It was a boot camp of caregiving, boot camp of advocacy, boot camp of everything, right? Boot camp of who the hell is you, mama? Well, at least you was mama back then when I left home, but now we both adults. You Virginia, I'm Mark. Right? Now I got to try to learn you, knowing what you got to establish your baseline, figure out where you at. For you people to know you're taking care of people, you're in the mental health field, you're in the special education field, whatever. Baseline, establish a baseline. That's where your personality is on a day-to-day basis, right? I had to determine that. And I'm playing catch up. When I drove my mom from Wisconsin to Arizona, I'm playing catch up. I found out that she had, something. She couldn't remember a little something. That's all I remember. I just kind of peeked my head in and out. We didn't establish that relationship. I fucked that up. I should have swallowed my pride, took my ass back at home, and made it up with my mama. And it made it difficult for me that last year. Not just the obvious, right? You got the obvious caregiving, establishing stuff, planning stuff, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is now I got to get to know the nuances of who I'm dealing with, right? Because I don't even know your baseline. I don't know nothing about you. I didn't know that, you couldn't hold your piss or your shit. And so now here I'm taking a 2 or 3 day trip driving back from here. I didn't know that you had sundowns. I didn't know that you was clowning on me. I didn't know that that she snapped on us and hit me in the damn head with her walking cane while we was driving. Oh my God, we stopped, man. My brother can attest to this. We probably stopped 20, 30 times on the way here trying to get here. She wants to get out of the car. She thought we was 2 or 3 different damn people. You kidnapping me. She tried to open the door 10 or 15 times, trying to hop out the car on the damn highway. Then I found out all kind of stuff that she needed that she did not have. So, I had a budget for, maybe, I don't know, $500 or $600 to drive and all that. And that $500 or $600 turned into $3 or $4 grand. Shit, after I had to start getting walkers, I had to start getting all this extra stuff and all that. I'm not telling you all. I'm telling you all this stuff right here, guys, because that is a great example of not being prepared, right? I didn't have no $2,000 or $3,000. I spent other money, bill money and shit, just to make this happen for my mama, right? Man, if I was to turn back the hands of time, I would have been mustered that up, got my stupid ass over there and talked to my mama and made up and had a conversation with her. Hopefully, guys, let me say this. Hopefully, this is, like I said, this is why I do what I do. Hopefully, man, I'm waking somebody's ass up, right? I don't care about a million views. I want 2 or 3 people they ain't been checking on they fucking folks that say, you know what, man, I'm finna go do this. Man. I'm finna jump on a plane, a bus, a ride, a walk. I don't give a goddamn what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go check on my mama, check on my brother, check on my cousin. Fuck all that dumb shit. Let me go check on them. Right? That's what it boils down to, man, guys. That's what you got to do. Shit, and if ain't nobody ever else told your ass, I am. You continue to keep following me, damn it, I'm going to keep on talking the same way. And if I see you face to face, I'm going to be talking the same way. Because that's just who I am. Whew. I love it. This is therapeutic, by the way, as well. I get all that shit off. It helps out. But anyways, advocacy is asking questions early. Understanding options. Respecting the person's voice. Oh my God. Let me tap on that one, right? I seen caregiving. I seen some good caregiving, right? I seen a dictatorship. I seen people treat people like they wasn't shit simply because they were their payee. They was their POA. They was this, they was that. And you are taking off unresolved issues, right? You have trauma and shit. Now, when your parent or your loved one gets older or they in a position where they can't take care of themselves or respond in a certain way, now you want to release all that shit out on them. Am I talking to somebody? I know I am. You got a brother, a cousin, a friend, a broad, an ex, a homeboy, a homegirl, whatever. You got somebody that's tapping in on what I'm saying. I know I'm talking real shit. Type it in there. Real shit, please. Thank you. Respecting each other, respecting the person's voice, knowing when to step in and when to pause, right? Knowing when to step in and when to pause. Paperwork comes in clarity, right? We ironing all that stuff out right now. And if they ain't gonna be no damn clarity if you fighting back and forth with your brother, your cousin, your mama, or you got to forgive these goddamn people. You got to forgive them. I might not like you. I might love you. But damn, I'm going to forgive you and we're going to keep it moving on. It's a hell of a feeling. And I still got work to do. I got people I need to goddamn forgive. Closing. Reflection. If you're listening to this and you're in the gray area, not officially yet, not documented yet, but already involved, right? You're not behind. You're early, right? Because you're listening to me, right? I just wasn't just a little cute face. You see me and click like and move the L on, right? You actually listened to my shit and you hung around. Just saying, whatever. You're early, and that's where real advocacy starts. And just so you know, behind closed doors isn't just conversation, right? We have an advocacy program for families, navigating POAs, payees, facilities, systems, and all that kind of stuff, right? We in them. That's what we did. We built a program, right, where we actually go out to places, right? We have a check-in service where we go check in on loved ones, right? Old, fat, skinny, I don't care, rich, poor, white, black, whatever, right? We going to check in with your people, and we coming in with this sort of mentality, right? We're coming in, we're holding people accountable. I don't give a damn about who wearing what tie, who got who title, right? I'm here for Mrs. or Mr. such and such. That's it. Get on out my damn face with all that bullshit. Let's get right down to the nitty gritty. Is their well-being fine? If they got medications? If they eating right? Is documentation's done right? Or what are their care meetings like? How is all that stuff coming into play? Who's a part of that person's life? Who's not a part of that person's life? Man, that's the check-in service. And then obviously if we see some things that's unraveled, some things that need to be taken care of, we have an advocacy service, right? We can speak up on somebody's behind, we can attend care meetings, we can go over documents and things like that. It is live right now, right? You can have access to that. It's a subscription base. It allows you to pay a little small fee every month, but at the end of the day, you can ask me as many damn questions as you want, right? And I'm going to tap in, right? I don't know it all, but I will find the damn answer. That's what they said. We have the advocacy program. No pressure, right? I ain't got no gun in your head telling you to go with me. I know everything. I'm the shit. No, I'm not saying any of that, right? Sometimes the next step isn't paperwork. It's understanding what you're willing to walk into, guys. That is it. That's wrapped up. Man. Hopefully, guys, and I do mean it, right? If I tapped in, if this resonate, if this podcast information that I just put to you guys resonate, right? Put the shit. I started saying, well, tap in and put this in. No, hell with all that. Put the shit. Right? And then once it's the shit, I'll continue to keep following up with you. You have some questions, you have some things that you want to tap into the subscription, you want some in-depth questions. But in most cases, when you're on our platforms, when you're on our videos or anything to that effect, and you ask simple questions, I can dive in. I can answer that question for you. And in most cases, my circle is so damn big, right? I have, not only that I'm an advocate, I have senior advocates, right? I got advocates, people I can go ask. So if I don't know something, bam, I go ask them, right? I'm just saying, right? So I can find out the answers. You can't hide it. But anyways, the shit, right? Click it in there. But anyways, also, what city, what state, what country, what world are you from, right, guys? Man, that's it. That's the podcast series for the day. Behind closed doors, everybody can get it. I'll holler. You guys take it easy.